Peace and prosperity, guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm coming live from sunny Dorset here in the UK. The Southwestern Southwestern Railway is just passing by. What am I doing in Dorset? I'm currently staying at Osho Leela, a little community here in the UK. But I'll probably talk about that in another video. Why I'm really here today is to talk about my first ayahuasca experience. So many of you that have been, oh, it's resting on a chair, hold on. Let's just flow with it. So yeah, many of you know I've been on the path since February the 18th, 2018, my cosmic birthday. So yeah, I've been 6 years on the path, and I'm trying to get down to the bottom of understanding myself, loving myself, healing myself, accepting myself. Let me just correct that there. So yeah, I'm on the path basically, 6 years deep. I realized when that 6 year mark came, I was like, wow, I've actually, I hold weight, There's more substance to what I say now because there's a lot of experience behind me now. And some of you will be like, 6 years is nothing, but yeah, a lot's happened within those 6 years. So yeah, let me get back to it. Yeah, so I've been seeking, trying to heal myself, seeking alternative methods and stuff like that, trying to heal my heart, trying to heal my soul, my spirit. And ayahuasca is something that we all hear of on the path. Me pretty much in 2018, when I first done mushrooms and stuff, I started looking up the medicine path, and I found out about ayahuasca, and I was like, wow, there's something I know I'm going to need to work with in the future, blah blah blah. And 6 years later, why 6 years has it taken me to get round to drinking the medicine? And guys, I keep it real, and I'm not the only one saying this here, that the spiritual ego kept me from drinking the medicine, because I wanted to have the perfect experience in Peru. I wanted to have the perfect shaman, everything to be perfect, authentic in the jungle. Let me sort out this camera. What can I use? Okay, hopefully it won't move no more. So yeah, my ego wanted to have the perfect experience so I can spread the word on how fantastic and how life-changing this ayahuasca experience would be. And you know what? I never made it to Peru. I almost in 2020 was gonna drink ayahuasca, but I ended up drinking. I ended up taking a boga, which was equally as intense and transformative as ayahuasca, but it's more like the masculine side of dealing with stuff. So yeah, I never got around to it. And I'm like, maybe it wasn't my time. Maybe there's a reason why me and ayahuasca have not linked up. Our soul, the spirit of us both has not been connected. And long story short, over the last couple of years, I've heard from a few good people, good sources, that a lot of good ceremonies are being held here within the UK. Now, it is illegal. How can something like that be illegal? What kind of government do we follow here? Mushrooms are illegal, ayahuasca is illegal. Anyways, let me not get into that. But basically, a good friend, shout out Aish, she told me about this ceremony, and I just kind of went with it. I was like, yep, cool, I think this is time now. I recently broke up with my ex, and I'm in like this transitionary period. The relationship showed me a lot of stuff about myself that I didn't realize I had, mainly anger, and a lot of stuff like that. And yeah, I'm just kind of on the path, and I was like, yeah man, I think it's time. So funnily enough, if you know me, I'm very spontaneous. I live life by the moment. I'm always like tapping into the energies of what's next, what's going on, what is the current theme, astrologically, astronomically, whatever. And basically, this was the first thing that I've probably ever booked in advance. It was about, I think in December, or no, January, I think I had it booked, or December, before February the 20 something, late February. And so it was quite a build up, and knowing that I had the ceremony prohibited me from doing certain things and making certain decisions, because I was aware I was going to have to sit in ceremony with myself. Even though past, present and future all exist, coexist, so it doesn't really matter anyway, you know what I'm saying? If you got the intention there to do something bad mind, then it is what it is. But yeah, I kind of withheld for a long time. I ended up coming here to this community, this Osho community here in Dorset, where I've been doing a lot of work on myself, I'll explain all of that in some other videos, because I haven't made no videos for a long time, and I'll talk about that as well. But yeah, basically what happened, I know I'm waffling a bit, what happened to me, yeah, boom, the ceremony is set, it's February. I filled out this questionnaire online. I'm receiving these emails, it's all hush hush because, you know, it's quote unquote illegal. I filled out this questionnaire, and I loved filling out the questionnaire. Why? Because it was asking me about my experience with medicines, like all my, you know, my experience. I couldn't wait to just write. It's been ages since I typed up anything or done anything like that. And I really just wrote an essay about my experience with psychedelics and stuff like that, and my journey with that. And anyways, long story short, boom, it's come to, yeah, February, like say 22nd, it's the full moon in Virgo. I'm a Virgo. It was that time of the year. And what happened? I got a lift, luckily, shout out my guy Davinda. He wasn't my guy before, I didn't know him, but now he's my guy. He was traveling from the same area where I live, and he took me up there. And yeah, it was in this beautiful, beautiful location. It was a beautiful church. Anyway, basically, the church was amazing. It was beautiful. I can't lie, I keep it real. I was really skeptical of shamans because of my experience with that Iboga shaman wasn't so good. And there's this whole thing about inauthentic shamans these days, Western shamans who are kind of watering it down and just doing it. So I'm very skeptical, you know what I'm saying? I have a skeptical mind. That's why I am the way I am. In a human design, I'm a 5-1, the heretic investigator, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of my position, to do that kind of stuff and call it out. So yeah, I was very skeptical about going into it, about how it was going to be, but I also had to surrender as well. So what happened? Yeah, everything was cool. It was like the first night. What happened on the first night? Drunk the first cup. I drunk the first cup now. By the way, whoa, let me stop there. It's in a church, it's beautiful. There's 5 of them on the altar, very beautifully set. The energies that they were calling in, powerful, really powerful. And we were all just laid out on the side. Some people, I had my yoga mat, and some people had like mattresses, blow-up mattresses, these big ass chairs. That's the kind of layout it is. And yeah, it come to taking the first cup. And yeah, what happened? I took the medicine, I took the first cup, and yeah, next thing I know, people are purging all around me. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? Shit, this ain't working. I'm going through this whole trip. If you watch my Iboga video, you know I had this whole trip of not taking too much, the medicine's not working with me, the shaman's not being attentive to me. I had this whole trip when I done Iboga. And this was now happening to me again. I was expecting this blast of visuals like most people are that drink ayahuasca. And all the stories you hear about angelic beings and blah 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 and all that kind of stuff. I had these expectations, I can't lie, I keep it real. I'm no stranger to the other dimensions and entities and stuff like that. I've smoked plenty of DMT, I've done plenty of heroic doses of mushrooms. I thought this was my time to work with the medicine. The medicine was going to show me some stuff. The medicine was going to change my life. You know what I'm saying? We all have these expectations, let's keep it real. So yeah, I took the first cup and I'm like, no visuals are happening, and then I'm hearing everyone throwing up and stuff like that, and I'm like, fuck, oh, shit, the meds ain't working, blah blah blah. And I'm going down this whole trip of maybe it's because in the week I was eating dark chocolate, I wasn't meant to be eating dark chocolate. Maybe it's because I was microdosing mushrooms all week and you're not meant to mix medicines. Maybe it's because me and my ex were recommunicating that week and it was getting a bit lustful and stuff like that. All of these things I knew I shouldn't have been doing. I was eating a bit of salt as well. It was playing on my mind. I was like, bro, why don't you take things seriously? So I was going through this horrible trip of just it wasn't going good basically, and I was having no visuals. Like I said, everyone else was purging, but when I opened my eyes, the room was trippy as hell, like a big mushroom dose. You know, everything has changed. Even if you get up out of DMT too early and you see things have changed, and you know, walking to the toilet was very different. And I remember going to the bathroom. This is when I knew the meds were working. Yo, I went to the bathroom, and listen, people have told me that I morph a lot. You know, if you see me, if you're in contact with me, some people say I have the tendency to morph. I've also, you know, on mushrooms or DMT or something like that, I like to look in the mirror sometimes when I'm in the bathroom, and like, you know, the face changes and you see like this ancestral kind of strength and wisdom, sometimes some weird stuff. But when on the ayahuasca, I've never seen myself morph at such a rapid rate. From every few seconds I was just transforming, and it was all this crazy stuff. So I knew the medicine was working. However, it wasn't giving me this this intense visuals like I expected it to be. So anyways, I made my way back in, and yeah, I was just kind of lying there just on the floor, and just like random thoughts were coming in my head, and I was observing certain scenarios and stuff like that. It wasn't visual, it was just more so thoughts, but in my mind the medicine wasn't working still. So anyway, this time for the second cup came, and I was a bit annoyed at this point. I was like, oh, maybe I just messed this up like the Iboga, this whole thing's happening, maybe I'm not even going to take a second cup. But when the woman said, it was female led by the way, very powerful, I'll talk about that in a second. When she offered the second cup, I was like, nah bro, go for it, you're here, you paid for it, this is your experience, you know, make the most out of it. So I went up for the second cup, I came back down in my seat. Next thing I know, something's going on. Boom. Even though we had a little bucket each to throw up, I went to this disabled toilet, and oh my days. When I say a demon was extracted from me, the noises I was making in this disabled toilet, I had to dig deep, and this really violent thing came out from me. And it was crazy because actually the day after, two of the girls asked me if that was me in the toilet that was throwing up, and they heard it all the way from the main hall. So it was very loud and very violent, and the demon left me, I swear on my life. And from that moment, from my purge, that moment, I came back in the hall, and I just couldn't lie down and close my eyes no more. I was filled with energy. You know what, I kind of denied myself to dance because this is much later on in the night, but fuck, the dimension of sound. I observed sound as an entity. I saw sound, that they were up there on the stage with their instruments and their voice. It was so angelic. Obviously I speak a bit of Spanish, there was a bit of Spanish lingo. I understood a few words like corazon, and there's a few English words throwing around, and like I was connecting so much with the music, and I was in the best concert of my life. I've never really been to a concert. Young Dolph, I went to a Young Dolph concert. Shout out Young Dolph, R.I.P. Young Dolph, Memphis legend. You know what I'm saying? That's probably the only concert I've been to. But here I was in this church, the most beautiful of settings, and these people are on the stage, and I keep having to check, are they really singing this, or is this coming? I don't know. It was just, I couldn't have imagined anything more beautiful in my life. It was literally the most beautiful moment I've ever existed in my life. I was like, wow, I want to be in ceremony for the rest of my life. And I denied myself to dance. I should have got up and danced, because I've been doing a bit of dancing here. I'll talk about that in another video. But I was just kind of squatting, as I do. You know, I'm a squatter, and I was kind of like, and I was moving a bit. I was getting a bit vibesy with it, but I should have got up and danced in hindsight. And then, anyways, the night ended.